Hey, Facebook. Welcome to another edition, the 100 edition. I'm speaking it by faith of the Ruby
Okay.
Girl Talk Show. So, welcome. I am so excited as I am every week. And I am Dr. K, also known as your favorite Ruby Girl. And tonight, I got some of my favorite Ruby Girls with me. So, I'm coming with a team tonight. So, if y'all try to jump me in the comments, I got backup and I got help. So once again, welcome to the Ruby Girl Talk. I have Miss Venetia with me and Miss Linda with me, and I'm so excited about what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about taking the limits off. Ladies
Mm.
and gentlemen, you know that we can place ourselves in a box and we can tape it up and ship it off on Amazon somewhere. But we're coming out of this box and we're allowing God to do all things through us. We quote the word all the time, but really, when we go to do something, our mind puts a limit like, nope, you can't do it because our mind is programmed to protect us. So these ladies are here today to help you break through that protective shield that your brain wants to keep you in that comfort zone and keep you really
Mm.
safe and not stepping out and not doing what God has called you to do. Well, tonight we're gonna break free of those limitations. We're gonna break them chains. It's like you in prison with the door open. So tonight they're gonna take your hand
Mm.
and they're gonna lead you out of this prison. But before we get started, ladies, I want y'all to go on my page and I want y'all to find this video and I want y'all to share it on y'all page. And so that way, everybody that know you that's on your page, they ain't got to be trying to type in my name all wrong and trying to find this page, okay? So while you do that, I'm gonna give
That's
them this
right.
$1 million commercial, okay? So, Ruby Girl comes from
Yes.
Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above the price of a ruby? And you know, just seeing this verse, you would assume that most women know this verse. But believe it or not, we've gotten so far away from that Proverbs 31 woman that a lot of women don't know that their worth and value has been established in this chapter. God sets before you, I wouldn't say a perfect a sample, but an example of a woman that's living her life fully for Christ and trusting God and utilizing all the gifts that God has given her. She knows her role. She's a business owner. She owns land. Her husband trusts her. She's known to fear the Lord. So she has all these characteristics that we as women of God need to latch on to. So I am helping women reconnect with that Proverbs 31 woman because we know that the world is tearing us down. We know that the world is trying to snatch our value, but God has within Proverbs 31 the verses, the scriptures, the words that we need to restore the value of the woman. And so while we're restoring the value of the woman, we're taking the limits off. So you can connect with me at rubygirl.net. Rubygirl.net. Go shopping, get my free ebooks. It's going to empower you. But the first thing I want you to do, and it's simple, it's free, it's easy, is share this video. Yes, you don't even need to have a class to know how to share. Press the share button. All right, so we're ready. We'll start with who wants to go first? Who wants to be the first introduction on the Ruby Girl Show? Venetia, Linda?
Okay, well, I am Linda Hunt,
All
and I
right.
am known as the anthology doctor. And I do anthologies. I have done over 6 anthologies for women and men. And I also have my own and books that I've written, 3 of those. And I am a author and a writing coach, business coach as well. And I just help people tell their stories. And so that is what I do, and I am just so happy and so, just so proud of the women and the men that have joined me on this journey of writing their stories. So that's what I do, and that's who I am. You can reach me at www.lindahuntenterprise.com.
Hey man, what a flawless introduction.
Well, well, that was
Yeah,
great. Okay.
girl, you gotta bring it.
Yeah, okay. We'll think. Hello, so glad and thank you so much for inviting us to be on your show. Really appreciate it, my sister in the Lord, and also a phenomenal woman yourself. I am Venetia Lyons. I am a writer, an author, a business strategist, business coach, and also the executive director of Women in Touch, nonprofit that focuses on domestic violence, and homelessness. And I'm also a curator of events. And that's what we're on here tonight to talk about events to empower women to move beyond limitations. So happy to be here. You can reach me on all the social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it, even LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. But my website is V Sue Enterprise. And come on over and check us out. Thank you so much.
All right.
Wonderful.
Now, this is what she put the seasoning on it. She gave me a compliment. So, she put a little extra salt and pepper on there. I'm sorry, Linda. Great job, ladies. Great job. So I want to get started because, like you said, we're on
Oh
here
God.
talk about your event that you're doing in May. It's called Taking the Limits Off. I'm excited about it because just looking at the flyer, which I'm gonna share in a minute, it's so much on there to unwrap that I'm like, every woman needs to be there to experience this event. It's everything you need in order to be successful. Financial, mental, just everything. So, Venetia, you want to tell us about the event?
Yes, I would love to tell you about this exciting event. It's really a gathering of women coming together in this season, and we're bringing women in an intimate setting. And we didn't want to get a huge place with hundreds of women for the first one. We wanted to bring an inner circle of women together to have them to learn what it is to take the limits off mentally, emotionally, and physically. What does it look like for you to take the limits off? Because we say take the limits off, that means you have the ability that you take your limits off. Is it something that's holding you? We have speakers that's coming in. Matter of fact, we have a speaker that's going to be flying in from another state, and she is coming power packed and ready to equip these women. We're talking about finances. We're talking about real estate. We're talking about emotional bondage, taking the limit off from what was that you may receive what is. And we have a special, exciting opportunity. We are bringing the city of Detroit to come and give us the information. What does it take to do business with the city? But also, what does it take to get into a program? We have several programs in Detroit that you may be unaware of for not just inspiring entrepreneurs or business owners, but seasoned business owners. They have programs, they have a summit that's coming up. And those who come to this particular event that me and Ms. Hunt is hosting will have an opportunity to be guests at their first summit this year. So we're very excited about the opportunity to come together with like-minded women to be impacted, to be equipped, and to be prepared for this season. For such as a time as this, we have been called. So ladies, please don't miss it. Be a part of what's happening. Be a part of the shift. Be a part of the wealth transfer. But you have to be equipped and you have to be prepared that you may master this season. That's what taking the limits off is.
Amen. 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 I was looking at the flyer and I was like, they have so much good stuff. It's like
Yes, we do.
the fact that you got the city of Detroit coming out.
Yes.
You got and part of taking the limits off, a part of the limits that a lot of people have is financial.
Yes.
You move differently based upon your bank account. And with a lot of women, we don't publish our book because we don't have the money to publish our books. Some people
Yes.
can't be a part of your anthology, Miss Linda, because they might not have the money for it. So with money and with income comes financial freedom to move and to do the things that God has called you to do. Now, there are some things we just do by faith, and God will open the door and God will provide for, but there are some things that we have to get financially set. So I like the workshop you got to my help me fix my money. I need to be on the front row. The state of real estate, real estate is a very good investment, funding for your dreams. Yes. Detroit means business. So I'm familiar with Detroit means business. They have been to our church and they had talked about, giving people funding. So a lot of people in our community don't know that there's funding out there for them. And they're so scared to go to a regular banks when there's other banks, and there's programs out here that can help them get funded. And then I like the power of releasing your story. That is very powerful, because a lot of people, I hear people all the time. I was on vacation in the Bahamas, y'all, and I heard one of the people that came with us like, yeah, I want to know how to share my story. And I said, look, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but I can help you, Right. And then like, yeah, I got a story that I want to tell, about cooking and recipes. I said, okay.
Wow.
So they really need your help. So Linda, tell me the reason. What made y'all decide to do this event?
Well, first of all, Venetia and I, we are collaborators, and we want women to see actually how women can come together and can put on an event such as this. You don't have to have all of everything that you need, or don't think that you have everything that you need to do everything. And so we just take our resources, we take our information, our training, workshops that we've attended, and we're just putting it together. Venetia and I have, done different things together over the years. And so we want women to know that it's time for us as women of God, sisters, whether it's natural or spiritual or, just friends, that you can come together with other women. And in this climate and time that we're living in, we have to be able to look for ways and means of us being able to prosper. And God tells us that he wants us to prosper, be in health and prosper as our soul prospers. And so we want people and want women to know that we are here to facilitate, to help, to collaborate with you, give you information. If we can't do it with you, we are willing and able to share information with women that we have information of things that we've done in the past or people that we know. So we just want, women to know that this is a time in the season, stop sitting on the sidelines. Stop waiting for, your ship to come in. It's time for you to, hey, build, like Tyler Perry said, you don't have to wait on somebody to invite you to their table, build your own table. And so it's just time for us to, really take charge and stop waiting for something to come to us, and to be that person that actually puts things together and invite other women to it. So we can come and support you as you support us. We'll come and support you. So we're just asking women to be a part of it and stop. Hey, it's time to take the disruptors off. That's my word for this season. The disruptors, it's time to let them go. And those are things that's been interrupting your life for years, and disrupting the events and the flow of your life, your thoughts, your actions. It's time to let the disruptors go and get on board, and let's do something.
Hey, man. All right, ladies. Hey, if y'all not inspired to go to this event, I don't know what else we can do to get you to come out to this event. I mean, women coming together is powerful, but women coming together to break limitations is even more powerful. And I was listening, I was on a call today, and the person was talking about, they was like, this is the time for you, if you have a business, to make it work. You need an extra stream of income, because what's coming down the line, it's going to be layoffs, and it's shift coming, and you got to be prepared for the shift. Like they said in 2020, when everything shifted, we were just like paralyzed. If it wasn't for the stimulus and the money that the government was giving us, a lot of us would have perished. But imagine it shifts again without the government support.
That's
So
right.
we have to have in place already our business is making money, our finances putting together, our limitations are, because no matter what, if you still got that mental limitation of dealing with the imposter syndrome, I'm not good enough, or undercharging,
Yes.
then guess what? Your business is just a hobby. You don't know how to make money. So,
Mhm.
Venetia, tell us some of the limitations you placed on your life in the past.
Ooh, you just spoke about a couple of them. We talk about imposter syndrome, and it is really I wasn't even aware of. I was walking in that mindset, and this was a few years back, and it wasn't that I wasn't already doing business. I've done business for years, but when it was time to level up, and level up for me was for me to come out. I was been doing business, but for me to take center stage. And I felt like, who am I to do it? And looking at these false narratives that you should have this, you have to have this, you should have this, these kind of credentials, that it was a challenge for me. I refused to put myself, even when others were saying, oh, we want you to do this, you should do that. It was a mindset. So it was really God. You know, you have to do that one on one, get in that closet, get on your face, and cry out when you feel that you know it's time to move forward, but what is holding you is not education. What is that? And I had to get face down. And I said, help me to know who I am. And through that, taking off that false narrative, shifting my mindset to knowing who I am and understanding, because we can read the word all day, but to live the word and to trust not just God, but to trust yourself. And I had to take that off that, you know what? I got you. You know, I went to the mirror many a day and I had to tell myself, I got you. It's wonderful to have support with other people. Awesome. And know you got a God. Wonderful. But until you can look in that mirror and say, I got you, will come with me. I'm gonna stand with you to myself. And that was taking the limit, the mindset, shifting that mentality. And that was really a major change in my life, was looking at myself and knowing that I got you.
Amen. Amen. And you're right. Sometimes we have to seek God's face and seek it again and seek it again. It's just
Yeah,
like working out. You go to the gym for 2 weeks. You cannot expect to be built different in two
no,
weeks. You just cannot. You might lose a few pounds, but the muscles are not there. And sometimes when you go to God, you can't just go once. You can't. That's
yeah,
why he said, ask, seek, knock. That's three things right there. And
Mhm.
so
yes,
we have to keep going. So sometimes we give up. God ain't gonna change me. This is just how I am. I'm gonna struggle. And God will sometimes give you tools. He'll say go to therapy. He'll say get a prayer partner. There's
yes.
so many ways that God can help us become who we desire to be. So I love your testimony. I absolutely love it. So Linda, what are
Yeah.
some things you put in place to help you stop limiting yourself? So she's the solutionist.
You know, and I just want to add this too. Venetia was a part of the Taking Off the Limits is actually an anthology.
Mhm.
And I had 6 women that were a part of that anthology. And her part in that particular anthology was called Getting to Know Yourself.
Yes,
So in the anthology and what I do in terms of what I do teaching other women, I had to experience myself. You have to be the
mm,
first partaker, as the Bible says, of the fruit yourself. And so my own
yes,
limitations, was in my own thinking. That's why I said the disruptors are things that you have to change your thinking about how you even think about yourself. A
yes,
lot of times we're looking at other people doing things and we feel like, I can't do that. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the education and things like that. And John Maxwell even said, once you've done a thing, you know 10%, if it's only 10% more than the audience that you're teaching, you're still the expert. It only takes 10% more to know what you are doing for you to be considered the expert. And I tell my girls that all the time. You are the expert. Once you wrote your story, you're the expert. You might not think you have to have all of the knowledge to do what you do, but if you have 10% more knowledge than the people you're teaching, you're the expert. So for myself, I, had to learn that, because a lot of times we'll sit around and wait because of the fact, oh, I don't have the doctorate, I don't have the BA, I haven't gone to school to do this. Sometimes it's just sheer guts. You say, God, this is something I feel in my spirit that I feel like I want to do. I haven't had the training to do it. And you just do it. And for me, I came into the game late as far as, age. And that's another thing. A lot of times women feel like I've gotten too old to do things. And who's going to listen to me? And I haven't been to school, as I said before. And so sometimes you just have to take, if God has put it in your heart, then I believe that that is something he wants you to do. And you just walk it out. Sometimes you just have to walk it out and stop waiting on all of the things that you need, the BA, the MSW, whatever it is. Sometimes you just have to take, the limits off and jump in and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to learn as I go. And so, one of the things that I say to my girls is like, hey, you jump out and you just hope the parachute open on the way down. You just jump out that plane.
Woo, that's a risk.
Hey, sometimes that's what you have to do. You got to take some risk in life. Everything just can't be all just, just so comfortable for you. Sometimes you've got to do things that make you uncomfortable. And you got to get used to being uncomfortable. Because life is not about all being comfortable. So that's what I did. It wasn't comfortable. I was afraid, but God said, do it scared.
That was you. I'm speechless. Ooh, she whipped us up, didn't she, Venetia?
Yeah.
Ooh, goodness, girl, you really pulled the whip out. Not the belt, but the whip. But you're right. Sometimes we don't move because we have already went ahead and predicted they're gonna give me a no. We're so scared of a no, but we need to be more scared of not doing what God told us to do. God might tell you, go ask Venetia for $1,000. She's like, no, I don't have it. But you've been obedient to God. God didn't say she'll give it to you. He said, I just need you to go ask. And then later on, she might come back and say, yeah, but what if she say no? So you're right. We have to take the limits off our minds. It is really our minds. Sometimes you don't need to do. It's people out here that's millionaires, don't have degrees. Some of them didn't even graduate from high school.
That's right. Absolutely.
And then you got people that has PhDs and they filing bankruptcy.
Yep. Absolutely.
Wow. So we're going to take a 60-second break. And so while we take a 60-second break, I'm going to check out social media, see if we have any comments out there. And Venetia, I'm going to give you 60 seconds to say whatever you want to say and go right ahead, ma'am.
Okay, I would want to say this. Right before the broadcast, I was looking and I went straight to Esther when she was, the predicament she was in, and her uncle came and told her that you have to go before the king. She was afraid, but she said, as she had prepared herself and her maids, she said, if I perish, I perish. And the point was, her uncle said something. It may have been that you are in that place for such a time as this. And I want us to look at this season, regardless of what's going on, what's happening in the government, what's happening in the situations and circumstances, that you have everything you need for such as this time. Don't look at the external. Believe that you have it and that you will be successful when you step out and you begin to understand this time was made for you to step out and not be fearful.
Amen.
Oh, that was good. Wow, I gotta have y'all back next week, and next week. So we have a few people watching, but I just want to give a shout out to we have Blair Cherie watching, we have Celeste Blackman watching, and let me see something. It keeps giving me everybody but who it needs to give me. You know how Facebook do. And let's see here. Every time I press it, it gives me on
Geneva
live.
James.
Oh,
Yes, there you go. Geneva. Hey girl, how you doing? So thank you everybody that's watching. A lot of people shared. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So now we're going to the second part. And I want to thank you, Venetia, for that powerful 60 seconds that you gave us. You women are really inspiring. Just hearing you tonight, it's making me take the limits off. I was looking yesterday when I did my finances and stuff for my business. And I said, this year you got to make a decision, Kay. You got to make a decision if you're going to keep doing business like this, or if you're going to really get serious and figure out how to make the money that you need to make in your business. Because right now, it does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I was like, you know what? It's time for me to just what they say, hunker down. I don't know. Yeah, hunker down. Yeah, that's our new word for the night, hunker down. And so, and so,
okay.
just listening to you women, you're really inspiring me. And God has really just been talking to me. It's something when you start to move in a certain direction, God will connect you with people that's already going in that direction, or
Yes.
that will give you clear directions where you're going. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching tonight, know that these ladies came to give you clear directions for taking the limits off. You've been wondering, like, I'm frustrated. I don't understand why I only go so far, then I come back. Well, these ladies are telling you why you have this rubber band effect in your life is because you had limited yourself. And they're here to tell you, we're going to help you cut through that rubber band and get where you need to go through attending this event that's coming up May the
Third.
third, May the 3rd. May the 3rd. Yeah, May the 3rd. And so they want you there. They want you in the room. Sometimes you have to be in the room to get the deliverance. You got to be in the room to get the healing. You can't just always watch it live or watch the replay. You have to be in the room. So now we're going to our second half of the show. And so we're going to have Miss Linda. We're going to learn a little bit more about these women. You're like, okay, they putting on an event, but what's their credentials? What have they done? So now they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves. So Linda, how do you help women who have limitations when it comes to sharing their story in written form? So just tell us what you do as an anthology doctor, and just tell us what you do.
Okay. Well, I have a coaching, program that I present to the women that become a part of my anthology, and I coach them through the whole process. I just don't, give them information and don't go back and go over it. And I do private consultations with them if it's needed, whatever it takes to get that story out, because most of these are first-time writers, most of the women, and that's why they come into an anthology. So an anthology, for those of you that possibly might not know what exactly an anthology is, and an anthology is a collection of writers that all come together under one theme. So I choose the theme, I put it out there on the social media, and for women to feel like, hey, that sounds like something that I feel that it fits my whatever I've gone through, some of the stories that I feel like I want to tell about my life. And so I make sure all of them, in terms of my coaching, I give them all of the instructions about how to put the story together. Okay, that's my job as the coach, the visionary coach, is to make sure that all of the pieces and parts are there to make that a story that is presentable for the public. And so all of those things that I do in teaching and coaching with them and offering them as well in my package, I do something a little different. I offer professional makeup. We also do professional photos. Why do I do that? I do that because of the fact that it's more than you just having a book. I want you to be prepared and become a triple threat if you want to be. That's a coach, a writer, and as well as an author rather, a coach and a speaker. So you can take all of that, even if you're in ministry, you got your pictures. You don't need to, run around trying to get a nice picture that they can put on a flyer. So you have professional photos. Some of these women have never been to a professional studio before, never had professional makeup before. And so all of that comes along, with the package. And that gives them more, you should see some of them when they take their pictures. They're so impressed. And some of the girls even they teared up and cried because they never did this. It was something that just gave them, I guess, more courage about who they are, just to see how beautiful they look. So all of those things go into the package as far as my anthologies, and helping them write that story, put it all together, come out of their shell of being afraid and all of the things that that they've experienced in life. And trust me, I've heard pretty much it all. I've heard some pretty traumatic stories about the lives of these women, but I hear it, but they can trust me with their secrets. They can trust me with those things that they might not even want to share with the public. And that's very, very important, that people have confidence in you, that they can share what they're sharing, and you know how to take it and turn it into a story that other people can read.
I like that it's more than just writing a story with you.
Mm-hmm.
Upgrade, because you're right, a lot of people don't have professional headshots. They'll send you a picture of a selfie in a car. But when you become an author,
Yes.
you become, as you say, a professional on whatever you write. And I like what you said when you said, as long as you know 10% more than the people, then you are the expert. A lot of times we think we need to know so much more. We need to know the whole Bible just to teach Sunday school.
Mm-hmm.
We need to know the Bible, speaking Hebrew and Jerusalem, all types, new language, everything. Be a pastor, to be just to be an evangelist. It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
hard. And I think we as humans, it's just in us to make it that hard. But I love what you say. They get professional makeup.
Mm-hmm.
They walk away with a headshot. So they walked away with being a whole different person. They
Yes.
became more than an author. Now that you have a story out there, now you can speak on your story. Now it
Mm-hmm.
opens doors for them. And I
Right.
love that. You're coaching these women, because now look at you and Venetia. Y'all have collaborated to put together this workshop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's amazing how you're changing women's lives.
Right.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just,
So
Kayron, just them seeing themselves in makeup and how beautiful they look. Because some of them have just different inhibitions about themselves. Maybe I
Yeah.
don't feel good about myself. And just seeing myself in makeup and how I have been transformed, it really does something for them, gives them more confidence in
Mm.
themselves, and so all of that is just inspiring to me to watch it all just unfold. It's more than the book. Trust me, it's more than the book. It's about a life. I'm here to change your life. I'm here to help you change your life.
I believe it. Can you hear the sincerity in that, Venetia?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
it
I can
is.
hear that she's ready to make us to change our lives. You think you're just
Yes.
writing a story. It's more than
No.
that. Like
Mhm.
when I had to go for something, and I had to write and pull up some things from my past life to put on the application. That was healing for me. It was some
Yes.
experiences I had that I was like, God, there's no way you can read. I know you can, but I just don't see how you're going to use this for some good, especially in business. I was able to use a bad experience as
Mm.
business experience. And I was like, God, you redeem this. Even though I was at no fault with what happened at business, I took the fault. I
Yes.
took the fault for it. And I was like, okay, God, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to bear it up. But it took, I don't know how many years later before God finally redeemed it. So while you think you're just writing the story, ladies, God could be healing you. God could be using your story to heal somebody else. So make sure you connect with Linda. If you got a story to tell, make sure you connect with her. She's going to help you tell your story, and she's going to upgrade you at the same time. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Linda, for what you're doing out there. So, Venetia, now you do a lot in the community. Just your
Yes.
introduction that you gave us, talking about you helping people domestic violence, homelessness, and you've been a business owner, you own a brick and mortar business, you've done a whole lot of things. But how are you helping women who have been through domestic violence? Just tell us about some of the things that you've done and books and whatever.
Yeah. The domestic, been working in domestic violence for almost 20 years now. And you run across women from all walks of life. And when we say domestic violence, it is just what it is. It is an intimate partner relationship. It can be male on male, female on female, father on child, mother on child. But what it is, someone has been violently attacked.
Mhm.
And we have taken up on this mission to help women who are running for their lives, actually. Domestic violence, most women who are in domestic violence situation, they have been unalived, as they use the word now on social media, by partners. And so we are a point of contact. We're registered nationally. We're registered with our local CAM, where we have a 24-hour hotline, and a women call, and we get them into emergency shelter. Um, if they can get away, we don't have a van where we go because that is a safety issue, but you have to come to us and we get you on the phone and we get you away from your predator. And after that, it's an emergency. Then we get you into a housing situation, be it a shelter for 30 days. But now, ladies, because of funding, there's no longer a limit on how long someone can stay in a shelter. There are limited places for women to go. We have spoke to women who's been living in their cars. And you know, the incident that happened in Detroit
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, that is real. We have spoke to women living in their cars, have been living in their car with their children for over 2, 3, 4 weeks. We have spoke to women who are living outside in the elements. So we have a collaboration with not just the police, we have a collaboration with other shelters where we can get you and then begin the healing process. And that is a whole assortment of workshops, mental health, doctor's visits, and bringing in specialists, psychiatrists to help you with a case work and management. Another thing I would like to say, the calls we are getting are from younger women. These are not even women. We're
Mm.
talking about 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds, 14-year-olds who are running for their lives. Many are being trafficked. So we have that, that's a part. But one of the things when we talk about domestic violence and homelessness, and that's why I am so passionate about helping women to be educated, to be entrepreneurs. One of the reasons that women stay when we get them on the phone, and some of them, we say, leave. I can't leave. I'm not financially independent. He takes care of the bills. So one of the things that I am passionate about is teaching women how to monetize on your gifts, your talents, and your abilities, how to collaborate with other women who may already be doing business, who already have a talent and a skill. So you do not stay in a death trap because of finances. And that is why I'm so passionate about women entrepreneurship, because I have seen the devastation. We have had clients who have called, and then if we had an incident that happened not too long ago, where a woman had called on a particular phone. She called as she was running, but she didn't want to leave, financially dependent on someone else. That same phone called our hotline and reported that that particular person was no longer alive.
Oh,
Be-
Mm.
yeah, so we get calls like that. So it is an urgency, and it is something when we talk about finances. that we can help our sisters, we can help young ladies to know that you have a skill, you have a talent. And that is one of the things that as we broaden what we're doing, taking off the limits, that we reach those who never thought that not only can I take care of myself, but I can build a business. I can understand what economics is, that it can save my life. And that's what we do in Women in Touch. We have a website, we have a 24-hour line. And if you know any woman who has the issue, we cannot be silent because there is no voice. If we, the one who we feel we are free, do not give a voice to those who do not have a voice when we talk about domestic violence and homelessness.
Could you get the number out?
Yes, you can just call my number 313-850-3703, and I will connect you with the 24-hour line. My telephone number, I'm the executive director of Women in Touch, and reach out to me. I will connect you with our 24-hour line that connects you with the resources.
What's that number again?
313-850-3703.
Okay.
03.
Yeah. And we have a website. It's called Women in Touch. You can find us online. Even if you Google domestic violence, we will come up. Women in Touch. From Natural, we have calls coming from all over the country. Women running from predators. I mean, really, the one was really touching. We had a woman, she was 73 years old, lived in Kansas, and she just said, I want to get away. And we connected her with our resource specialist, and they did get her a ticket. She was 73 years old, and she still felt the need to take the limits off of her ability to be free. She said, I know I'm older. I know I have lived like this, but I can't do it any longer. You know.
Can I make a comment right there?
Yes.
Right there. I know I can't think of her name. I don't think she's in the city right now, but what she was doing with the program is helping women, because sometimes the perpetrator or the person that is committing the domestic violence cuts off financial resources.
Yes.
And so that is how they can keep you entrapped in the relationship, is because you don't have any money, and they make sure you don't get any money, so that way you can't escape. And so that was a part of her program, because that's something she went through, is to help women know how to be able to still be able to have money, where when they get ready to leave, that they do have some kind of finance that they can leave. But yeah, so that's very real.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's I would like to donate some of my domestic violence journals to your cause, because when God gave it to me, I was like, I haven't been in domestic violence or anything, but I just believe that God can God needed that in the earth, because so many women are being, as they say, unlived. I was just reading about this young lady that was killed on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
The guy said he was just tired of her, just like something, I'm just tired of her. And he ended up shooting her in the car. Then he went and shot her to make sure she was dead, because he said he wanted to make sure she didn't suffer. And I'm sitting up there like, why couldn't you just let her go? Or why couldn't you just cut it off, and y'all both would have lived another day? But like they say, a lot of these men don't know how to handle their emotions.
No.
It's like they have so much anger. I think a lot of the frustration is they don't have fathers, male figures in their lives to say, hey, young man, hey, young blood, that's not the way you conduct yourself. And men have to be taught. Women, we learn on our own, but it's true when they say men, boys have to be taught to be men. We learn as women, we watching other women, or it's just something built in us to learn that. But boys really need to be taught and be surrounded by other strong males. And then we got to think about what they're watching on TV. And that's why the Ruby Girl platform is so important to me, because it's restoring the value of women. You know,
Yes.
we were so cherished. We was the purest thing. We was always treated delicate. I love watching old movies, westerns, and
Yes.
hey Miss Lady, how they would help us up and treat her like a lady and all that stuff like that.
Yes.
And we need that to come back. But we as women first got to start respecting ourselves and knowing our
Ourselves.
worth
Yes.
and knowing our value. When you see a red flag, that means to go. And so we get
Yes.
with these guys that have these tempers. I remember I told this one guy, I said, I would never talk to you. I said, because I see how you treat the people at work. You turn on them so quick. I said, you do the same thing to me. I passed on that. He ended up in a relationship with somebody we worked with. And when I tell you he took her through, and I dodged a bullet. So we got to know as ladies right away that I see some flags right here. Men that are mean, men
Yes.
that how they treat people around them and talk to them. I watch stuff like that. And I'm like, if you do them like that,
Yes.
you can be like that, you
And
know?
see, and
Yes.
one thing for two women, domestic violence or violence of a man is not just physical, it can be verbal too.
It is.
Yes.
See, when a
Yes.
man doesn't respect you, because the next thing is coming is the violence where he's going to start putting his hands on you. But if a man is calling you out of your name and talking to you any kind of way and disrespecting you in public and
Yes.
all kind of things like that, that's domestic violence. Okay,
Yes.
so don't just think it's all because, oh, he never hit me, he never put his hands on, but did he respect you? Did he treat you with
Yes.
any kind of respect? And one of the signs is if he don't respect his mother, he's certainly, or his sisters, he's certainly not
That's
going to
right.
respect you.
There
So
you
don't
go.
think, my mother, she gets on my nerve. No, if you don't respect your mother, if you don't love your mother, if you're not concerned about your mother, if you're not checking on your mother, you're not going to check on me. And
Yeah.
you're not going to,
Yes.
respect me.
Yeah. And then if I hear a man talking about a woman, he calls her out her name so
Oh, yeah.
freely.
Wow.
That is a flag for me too, because that means just like you talk to her like that, when you get mad enough, you'll call me out my name. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. This was a great ending. Great ending. So we're gonna have Miss Linda. She's gonna do the parting words. So I'm gonna show her website, and then once she finishes, I'll show Miss Venetia's website. So Miss Linda, you are on the mic to close us out.
So what did you want me to talk about at this time?
You can talk about anything just to close us out.
Oh, okay. Well, I just, want to say as well, again, I do want to encourage the women to come out. This is really put together for you that you can start hopefully before the year is out. We know we're already in the second month of the year, and the year goes so fast. And before you know it, we'll be in 2026. So don't put off today, yesterday rather, what you can do today. Go ahead and make up your mind that you want to, like I say, get rid of the disruptors out of your mind, all of the procrastination, all of the fear, all of the excuses that you have done all year long. Come out to these workshops, allow us to, just to pour into you, because that's what we want to do. We want to see you make some changes this year. And guess what? As you're changing, we're changing too. We don't have it all together. We don't have all of the answers. And that's why we invited other women with other expertise to come in to teach you some things, to help you fix your money, break the back of lack. That's one of the workshops that Josette Crumley will go. She'll go over. Beverly Jordan, the state of real estate. Do you want to own land? Do you want to own housing? Do you want to know about real estate? Maybe you want to get into the real estate game. Come out and listen to these women that have been doing these things. These are not novices. These are women that have been doing this for years. And as well, the other lady that will be there from Detroit Means Business. This is about business. You want to know about business? You want to know how to get in business? You want to know where's the money? That's what we want to know. Where's the money? How can I get this free money that's out there in spite of? And and one of the things I want to say, and that's for me as well, don't listen to everything the media says. Okay. Because if you listen to everything that's going on in the media, it will keep you fearful. It'll keep you, it'll keep you procrastinating, and I don't want to do this because I know this is going to happen and this is what they're saying. Stop listening to the media and believe God, okay? That even in spite of, he knows the plans he has for you, and they are good and not evil. I don't care who's in the White House, okay? Listen to what your spirit is telling you, what your heart is telling you, what God is telling you, what the word of God says, and come out and believe God that you are going to still flourish in the midst of all that's going on in this chaos. Okay, you're going to thrive in chaos, and we're going to help you.
Yeah. All right. We'll get some, your help has come. Thank you. So let's look at Miss Venetia. We want to see the flyer one more time. And then we see Miss Venetia's. So the workshop is May the 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock. Y'all not doing anything. It's at the Motor City Java House. It's on Lasher Road. It's not far from me. As I come to think, I know exactly where you're at. So you want to make sure you come from taking the sessions for taking the limit off, no more crumbs, dealing with mental health, help me fix my money, the state of real estate, funding your dreams, and the power of releasing your story. And it's only $50. This is a lot. If you look at all you getting, even if you said each one of these classes was $10, you still get more. So $50 is a great investment. And so you can see that you can register now today. They have the phone numbers here and the Cash App here. May the 3rd, 10 a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m. And so Venetia.
And can I just say right there, if it's okay with Venetia, for those of you that are on the line and those that would dare to go ahead and register now, we'll give you a 10% discount. Okay.
Yes, excellent.
Is that okay?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. So that's an offer for you to go ahead, because the space is limited. There's only a limited number of people that we can get into this workshop. We want to make it bigger the next time, but for right now, there's only a limited amount of space that we can have people at the Java House. So if you get your ticket between tonight, okay? If you get your ticket tonight, we'll give you 10% off. So you can go right on the flyer on the QR code and go ahead and pay for your ticket tonight, and we will give you 10% off of your ticket.
Yes.
Oh, y'all hear that? The Ruby Girl discount.
Yeah, Ruby Girl
right.
discount.
It's the Ruby Girl discount.
That's the Ruby Girl discount. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
And make sure you check out Venetia's website. So ladies, I want y'all both each to give out y'all website, and we'll close out. Miss Linda?
Okay, you want me to talk about the website? I didn't hear you.
Oh, just give your website.
Okay, my website is www.lindahuntenterprise.com.
Okay, and Venetia?
It's bsueenterprise.com.
All right. So we had a very interesting talk tonight. We talked about taking the limits off. And I hope if you're out there, you're thinking differently, that you're not just saying, okay, yeah, I need a different life. Now you're planning how to have that different life. You can think all you want to, but you have to have a plan of action. And so these ladies have came tonight to tell you, hey, join me May the 3rd. I'm going to give you plans. I'm giving you plans of actions. So when you leave from this, workshop, not only have you heard them tonight, but now you've been in the room with them, and now you get the reinforcement, you get the anointing that flows up out of them, and you get the energy, the synergy that's going to be in that room, and it's going to help you make that life change. So you got to move differently this year. You can't sit at home. You got to move differently. And so let this be your first move. May the 3rd, around Mother's Day, make this be your first move on being brand new in 2025, because 2025 is a shift. I'm telling y'all thought 2020 was something. 2025 about to show us something different. God's been telling us.
That's
have money in your house. stock up on this, do this and do that. And so we just been high and lying. But now guess what? Now we have to be prepared. So thank y'all for watching the Ruby Girl Talk Show. If you want to be a guest, please let me know. You can be a guest. I'm looking for a guest for next week. And like I said, these ladies are invited back all month. We can have this conversation all month long because it's so much to talk about. You can't just have one session and that's it. It's so much when it comes to taking the limits off. So ladies, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank the audience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please
Thank you.
contact these women. Y'all are ready to take the limits off. So we're going to sign off Facebook. So Facebook, thank you so much for everything tonight. Good night, Facebook.
Good night.